What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good afternoon. Here in the Nationals, we are your cast for today and your host. My name is Vil. Alongside with me is Rob Luna and the Wolf. And today is a very, very special day to all of our viewers out there because this is the first triple header for this season, mga kaibigan. Wolf and Rob Luna, kamusta? Let's start with Wolf.
Okay naman, enjoying the different scenery ngayon at niready ko na ang aking sarili para sa first triple header. Sinabi mo last, nako, wag kang magsalita ng tapos. Di natin alam pwede mangyari. Pero kidding aside, yeah, we have to be ready about it kasi this is gonna be a long night ahead of us. Pero masaya kasi madaming action ng esports.
Rob, kamusta?
Okay naman. I mean, before pa lang nag-start tong pre-show na to, sobrang okay na kasi ikaw yung nandito ngayon sa aming harapan ni Wolf. At syempre, gaya nga ng sabi, huwag kang magsalita ng tapos, Bill, kasi this might be the first and not might be the last. Pero ang pinakamatindi dito, may mga teams tayo gonna be playing not only once for today, like LPE, and if I'm not mistaken, even SEO will be playing twice today.
Indeed, and yun na yung pag-uusapan natin mga kaibigan. Let's talk about LPE versus SEO, which is Laus out of group PlaybookEsports Eagles versus STI eOlympians. Both teams will be playing 2 matches today. Alright, magsimula tayo sa LPE. LPE might have a momentum coming into their match against SEO because of that 2-0 win against HFE back then. I'm gonna ask you guys, can they use that as an advantage on their match against SEO? Rob?
Yeah, I think so. Kasi I was actually one of the casters for that specific match. The reason is they had a loss. Their first series was actually against Signal Ultra Warriors, and the type of drafting that Coach Panda did was almost the same kung ano yung ginawa nila on HFE. The only difference is much polished siya compared doon. So kumbaga hindi sila basta-basta nagpalit ng strategy. Pinolosh lang nila yung mga mistake nila. Kasi yung loss nila against Signal Ultra Warriors was actually very close. So I think medyo na-master na nila yung going into HFC, and in terms of momentum, yes, tama ka. It can be used against their match against SEO right now.
Alright, how about you, Wolf?
Yeah, I think it's kung momentum lang ang usapan, you always need that. After losing your first series, tas close pa yon, di ba, sa Signal Ultra Warriors, ang gusto mo ay makahanap ka ng mga small victories sana para makabalik when it comes to the momentum. Malupit pa, big victory ang nakuha ng LPE. Having a 2-0, it really helps them na maging fresh kasi dalawang games lang yung kinailangan nilang laruin against HFE, which means na meron pa tayong pwedeng makita na kakaiba today coming out from this team.
Alright, last match of SEO is actually Bren E Pro with a score of 0-2 and almost a week to prepare as well coming into this match. What do you think are the things that we can see from them versus LPE? Wolf?
Well, knowing STI eOlympians, kilala din ni mga players dito. This is not the first time na makikita natin sila in professional play. In fact, naglaro na rin sila sa mga malalaking liga. What you want to expect from this one, specifically dun sa kanila mga tapat, Vil and Rob, is the coaching battle. This is Coach Bluffsy, one of the decorated na coaches yan when it comes to Mobile Legends in the Philippines. At syempre, si Coach Panda, bukod sa magtropa yan, sobra. They also know each other well. And alam mo, sobrang tagal na bago natin nakita yung pagmamatch ulit nila. It has been even a year, di ba? Parang ganun na katagal. So, exciting for sure. And for the side of SEO Olympians, I'm sure na prepared si Coach Bluffsy laban sa LPE ngayon.
How about you, Rob?
Yeah, well, para sa akin, specifically yung ginamit ni Wolf was actually Bluffsy and as well with Coach Panda. Both are basically championship contender in terms of sa mga previews nila na mga na-achieve over the years dito for the Mobile Legends scene. Tapos, ang maganda pa dito, the team na hinahawakan ngayon ni Bluffsy was almost the same team for close over. Kung hindi a year, it's almost a year na magkakasama. I mean, they had their ups and downs on other tournaments. Pero syempre, ito yung unang pagsabak nila with the banner ng SEO. And for sure, yung mga previous na laro nila, it actually, may marami lang silang kailangang i-polish, pero nandun na sila. They're actually there. They just have to make or have the better execution this come around. Itong laban nila sa LPE. And I think SEO, yung previous series nila, it's actually a loss, pero may kita mo na aral Kumbaga,
Aral.
Yes.
alam nila yung match-up na yun. It's just that the execution wasn't there. And probably yun na siguro yung naging sagot nila going into LPE this time around.
Alright, next match is gonna be Smart Omega versus Laus on the group Playbook Esports Eagle. Previous match ng Smart Omega is nakaisa sila sa Bren E Pro. What do you think are the factors that LPE and Smart Omega should do in order to get a win laban sa isa't isa? And we all know how good Smart Omega's macro play is.
Yeah.
But is it enough to take down the whole LPE squad?
Yeah.
Wolf.
I've been casting a lot of Smart Omega games sa mga fan ni Coach Dale at sa pagiging fundamentalist ng team na to, yung macro play nga nila. So, if you're asking me kung malaki talaga ang chance ng Smart Omega to win against LPE, lalong-lalo na dahil din sa experience. So, it's gonna be a tough challenge for sure for the Eagles squad. And it's easy for me to say na mas madali tong kunin ng Smart Omega. Siguro ang pwedeng edge ng LPE is if they bring out something that's different, something new na baka hindi pa naaral ng Smart Omega. Smart Omega kasi maaral na team yan eh. But if they are presented with something that's different, pwede silang malason sa mga ganung moments.
How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I agree with Wolf. For sure, Smart Omega gonna be the crowd favorites in terms of this series since ito naman din yung una nilang paghaharap here on the National Season 2. Pero there is a slight hole or rather na pwedeng utilize dito ng LPE because LPE, this is the same squad who's been doing pretty well kahit sa mga ibang tournaments. Pero Smart Omega, though this is the same roster, medyo nagkaroon sila ng mga changes over the roles that they had. Like for example, Curtisi from the side lane before, tas ngayon nandito na siya sa support or rather the position 4 na mas kilala. Then suddenly Hayes was actually moved towards the tank position. And Heat, siya naman yung medyo nagpunta onto the backlines, and Kenji binalik nila kung saan siya talaga naging sikat or nakilala. Of course, that's the offlaner or the side lane. So, pwedeng gamitin ng LP ito since nagre-reconstruct ngayon ng roster or rather ng mga strategy yung Smart Omega. Pwedeng yan yun. Pwede silang umatake from there dahil and for sure, Coach Panda already knows this. Sobrang top-notch naman niya in terms of strategy. And gaya nga ng sabi ko, ang daming nagbago for Smart Omega. And it's actually a good thing. Kasi if it didn't work on their previous tournament or sa mga iba pa nilang ginagawa here on the national, and of course, they had this loss against Bren E Pro then maybe this time around, baka yung ginagawa nilang is mas more, kasi kumbaga chemistry-wise, okay na sila eh. Pero yung sudden na pagpalit ng roles, hindi siya yung parang, lagi kong ginagamit dito, it's like parang Lego na ipapagkabit-kabit mo lang and you'll get exactly what you want. Pero hindi siya ganun kasimple. So yeah, I guess, in terms of dito, I think Smart Omega still the pinaka mas pabor. Pero LPE, I'm sure, mabibigyan tayo nito ng ikagugulat mamaya.
And I really can't wait for that for sure. And I just really want to talk about our last match, which is STI eOlympians versus Signal Ultra Warriors. For SEO side naman, it is really up to the first match. If ever maganda ba yung mga ipapakita nila performance or may konting hiccups, pwedeng i-carry over yon dito sa third game or pwede din sila mag-reset for sure. Okay, for Signal Ultra Warriors with 2 points sa kanilang team, what can they do in order to win against STI eOlympians? Rob?
Against STI, nga eh. Actually, iniisip ko eh.
I mean, Signal Ultra Warriors.
Oo eh. Lapalipat ako sa tab. Sabi ko, tama ba yung laban? Pero...
Sabi sila para ako yung nandito. Iba. Pero, I mean, Signal Ultra Warriors pala, sorry.
Okay, so, let me repeat the question. So, yung in terms of the win ba ng Signal Ultra Warriors? I mean, momentum-wise, tama ba?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Signal Ultra Warriors with 2 points, what can they do in order to win?
Well, yung 2-0, 2 points nila yun, this actually came from the LPE squad wherein ng 2-0 naman ng HFE. So, that 2-0, hard-earned point yun eh. Sabihin na natin kahit that's only 2 points. Pero kasi, this is also a team na nagre-reconstruct din on their roster. They had their former carry or rather yung hyper carry nila, which is napalitan na ngayon, pero andito pa rin naman yung mga household names nila like Imba DJ, Chujin, Bensanity, Rhea. So, I think Signal Ultra Warriors, they have the same flair as I've saw them in other tournaments. Pero may nabago in terms of how they approach the game. Signal Ultra Warriors kasi sobrang lakas nila specifically on the early game. Kaso nga lang, they somehow fall ops tuloy. Nagfo-fall sila somewhere in the mid to the late game, and medyo nahihirapan sila sometimes magsara ng mga laro. And yung on their previous match, kita mo na doon na parang ang laki na agad ng improvement nila from the position that they had before. So, from the 2 points, I think ang laki ng magagawa nila dito. It's all depends on how SEO performs here on their match on the first series sa LPE. So, if SEO performs well, then for sure, maganda magiging laban nila with Signal Ultra Wars. But if they got 2-0'd by LPE, for sure, Signal Ultra Warriors will have somehow like an easy time for them. So, yeah, siguro correct me if I'm wrong sa mga SEO fans, pero yeah, that's how I see it.
How about you, Wolf, sa mabilis?
Naintindihan ko yung sasabi nila, parang medyo momentum-based in a way for today. Kung ano yung maging resulta ng first series, baka maging makapekto ng malaki doon sa third series. However, I wanna say, para sa Signal Ultra Warriors, ang kailangan lang nilang gawin is to keep their brand, yung kalmado na laruan ng Signal Ultra Warriors. If they keep that, that's gonna be great. Utilize nila din yung pagiging malakas ng kanilang newbies. They are new to the scene, but we can expect a lot from them. So, utilize their new players at the same time ay gawin yung same brand na kalmado para sa Signal Ultra Warriors for them to win in this game.
Yes, and to all the people who's watching right now, and again, we're gonna have a triple header for this season. For this day, we're gonna have Laus Auto Group PlaybookEsports Eagles versus STI Olympians. Up next is gonna be Smart Omega versus Laus Auto Group PlaybookEsports Eagles. Next is STI Olympians versus Signal Ultra Wars. And again, to all the people who's watching right now, 9 winners will win a national team jersey of their choice. And if you want to know more about our giveaway, please stay tuned for instruction. And after the break, it's gonna be Laus Auto Group PlaybookEsports Eagles versus STI Olympians. Thank you very much, Rob, Luna, and Wolf. Good luck later. And again, sa mga nanonood dyan, please stay tuned and see you later.
Our first series is gonna be LPE versus SEO. Well, I'll be your caster, Rob Luna. Kasama ko ngayon dito si Wolf. Kamusta, Wolf? Kamusta?
Okay naman. Excited for this matchup, and hindi dahil sa related ako sa mga maglalaro ngayon. But also, this is the proving grounds para sa parehas na teams. Both of them kailangan ng mag-establish na kanilang points dito sa ating group standings. At ang kanilang performance today ay magiging indicative na mangyayari sa kanila in this group stages.
Oo, kung ano talaga yung makahihinakan. Kumbaga, we're almost on the halfway through the league Pero syempre, atin munang tignan, of course, yung mga standings, of course, ng mga teams natin. Here, mga kaibigan, this is gonna be the match result. Ito yung naging previews na laban ng Smart Omega versus Brand E-Pro. Of course, yung Brand dito yung nanalo. And yun naman, LPE versus Happy Feet Emperors. Yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina before we actually started this show. Yung LPE, yung momentum nila dito, winning 2-0 against Happy Feet Emperors. Ang tanong is, madadala nga kaya talaga nila dito against STI eOlympians, Wolf?
I think that it is gonna be used. Lalong-lalo na yung kanilang pagkapanalo sa Happy Feet Emperors. Medyo confidence play siya Kaya ako nasabi kasi yung kanilang ginawang strategies, technically the same, parang in a way, pare sila. It's Lunox, Alice, Kyra Drafts. Parang na-test talaga nila yung strategy na gusto nilang gawin, which means na magiging comfortable sila ngayon facing up against their third opponent, third series in the Nationals.
Yes, and of course, Wolf, ito na yung group stage team standings natin as of the moment. Ang leading pa rin, Brand E-Pro, 6-2 in terms of win-loss with 7 points, pero they haven't lost a series yet. Meanwhile naman sa Smart Omega, they have the same point, pero 5-2 ang kanilang loss. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a 2-1 in terms of series.
Yes.
Laus Auto Group PlaybookEsports naman, 3-2 in terms of win and loss. And of course, 4 points. Signal Ultra Warriors, 2-3 with a point of 2 points. And STI eOlympians gonna be 1 win and 2 loss with only 1 point. And of course, Happy Feet Emperors, hindi pa sila nakakapag-bag ng panalo dito na series. And this is already 3 series that we had here on the National. And they really need to start winning para lang ma-contest nila dito yung mga teams natin for the group stage. Pero ang ating munang pag-usapan syempre, Wolf, yung magiging laban natin ngayon is gonna be LPE versus STI eOlympians. And by the way guys, our match schedule for today, it's gonna be, ito nga yung pinag-usapan ng LPE versus STI, followed by Smart Omega versus LPE Eagles, and susunod ulit gonna be STI eOlympians versus Signal Ultra Warriors.
Wow.
By the way, before I ask you, Wolf, ay papaliwanag ko lang sa ating mga sumali doon sa ating triple header Saturday, yung 9 lucky fan na pwedeng manalo ng exclusive the national jersey ang kanilang paboritong team, is that hindi naman maapektuhan yung entries nila for the triple header Saturday kasi medyo nag-iba yata doon sa yung schedule natin. Slight change lang naman to. So yeah, yung mga naglagay ng mga entries nila doon, kung sino yung mga tingin nila na mananalo for today, of course you had the chance to win jersey ng inyong paboritong team. So we will be announcing 3 winners every after series.
At saktong-sakto yan. Ito na, tignan nyo na at sino na pipisil ninyo na mananalo per series. Let's look at the teams that will be playing and the players themselves. Laus Auto Group, PlaybookEsports, Eagles ang ating unang team with Aspect, Jake the Dog, Arvs, Yaku, AK, Ryota, and Bimo. Interestingly, Yaku is, I believe, yet to play, Rob. Hindi pa natin siya nakikita. Pero we can expect a lot naman. This guy, Jake the Dog, isa sa mga masasabi kong breakout players nung isang qualifier ng isang malaking liga dito sa Pilipinas. It was bandang late 2019 to early 2020. Pinag-uusapan itong si Jake the Dog. And
Yeah,
parang
for
hindi
sure,
lang tuloy-tuloy, no?
Talagang it's been a household name din even on the pro scene. Baga kilala rin talaga to si Jake the Dog. And he's actually one of the naging instrument din on them winning nung laban nila against Happy Pete Emperors together with Bimo. Yung Alice dito ni Jake the Dog, talagang mapapansin mo yung difference on other Alice players together with the tank capabilities dito ni Bimo with its jawhead. Yan. So by the way, yun nga, we haven't seen Yaku and I think AK as well.
Yeah,
Hasn't had the chance to play under the LPE. Pero who knows? Wolf, malay mo, ito na yung araw na yun.
Now, we would love to see AK at it's so weird. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this story, pero when basta may kwento mamaya kay AK. It's all about him. Parang minsan na-addict pa siya sa ML nung meron siyang tournament sa Tekken, di ba? We know that he's a Tekken player. Medyo napagalitan na kanyang tatay because of that. But yeah,
gusto kong marinig yung kwento na yan sa'yo, Kuya Wolf. Pero syempre, atin munang tignan yung mga kalaban ngayon ng Laus Auto Group Playbook Esports Eagles, of course, ang STI eOlympians. Kung gaano kadami yung kanina, it's gonna be only the solid squad. This is the 5-man Yato, Escanor, Deb, Kram, and of course si Dian. For about these players, no, Yato, I think he's actually building up in terms of being the core of STI eOlympians. And kapansin-pansin yung niya medyo witty tong bata na to in terms na alam niya kung kailan lang niya kailangan lumaban, alam niya kung kailan niya kailangan niya mag-back. Kumbaga, hindi siya yung palag ng palag. Medyo fundamental tong si Yato. And together, of course, syempre yung mga natin, like Dian and Escanor and Deb. Ito na yung mga kumbaga parang kuya nitong STI Olympians. And mapapansin mo, Yato and Kram, yes, they are somehow new in terms of ganitong mga kalalaking liga. Pero they're already showing na talagang they're also capable going against. Sabihin na natin, ang pinakauna pa nilang nakabangga, track agad. That's gonna be the Brand E Pro Squad.
Para sa side ng STI Olympians kasi meron silang mixture ng mga new players, tapos meron din silang mga veterans like you said. I think Dian, his experience sa professional Mobile Legends scene ay kailangan i-utilize ng STI Olympians in-game as well para mas clutch sila, kaya nila mag-secure ng mga series like what they did, diba? Parang ang ganda ng kanilang intro, sana is natapos nila. So Dian is gonna play an important role in this team for sure.
Yeah, I guess. Pero syempre, gusto ko talagang malaman kung paano. Gaya na sabi natin kanina, pinag-uusapan natin nila, Bill, STI Olympians, it might matter kung ano yung magiging result nila going against sa susunod nilang makakalaban. Pero before anything else, here are our featured players. Jake the Dog, both side laners to, mga kaibigan, pero they're definitely showing off onto this team. Kumbaga, mararamdaman mo yung presence both of this player, Jake the Dog, I've seen is on this Alice, and of course naman dito for Crams, somehow a side laner pero mga more on mage yung kanyang mga ginagamit on this past few matches here on the Nationals. How about you, Wolf? In terms of these two players, parang no? We're medyo nabibuild up ngayon yung mga side lane ng mga mages eh. Bakit kaya nag-aganito yung meta natin?
Yeah, so it's very important for side laners now na marunong sila almost any hero nga. It's just a matter of discipline, diba? Parang merong mga side laners na pure fighters sila pero naiwan sila nung meta nung nagkaroon ng shift nga na kailangan marunong ka nang mag-mage dun sa side lanes. I wanna go back, this is probably start of this year, start ng 2020 nung nagkaroon nga ng double side lane, tapos meron kang funneled mid laner na dun siya kumuha ng farm, pero in Indonesia nag-develop siya, tapos unti-unting na-catch up din ng meta sa Philippines na pwede talaga ang mga side lane mages. Nauna dyan sila Farsa, sila Lunox, because of how they can clear the wave, at ito na nga yung pinasikat si Alice. It is important for any off-laner na marunong dapat silang mag-mage side lane kasi may mga strategies talaga, may mga draft na pasok yung mga mages na yon, and they need to be ready for that kind of play.
Oo, I totally agree. And not only that, no? Kasi aside from the minion wave clear, mages kasi they're actually tend to be strong no? On the early to mid game talaga. Kumbaga, yung kit kasi ng mga mages, yun naman yung pinaka strong point nila, being strong on early game. And yun yung parang nagiging meta natin eh. Kasi whenever you get the early game, medyo mas magiging madali yung going into mid game, especially kung medyo scaling din yung draft nyo. Pero we're already on the draft ngayon. Wolf, of course, unang ban dito ng LPE gonna be the Yuzhong we're in. Naging maganda para sa side ng STI eOlympians. If I'm not mistaken, it was Escanor yung huling gumamit ito para sa kanila.
That's right. Brody is a hero na I think almost automatically tayo nakapaglaro na tayo niyan, no? Alam mo naman, auto win talaga.
Oo, medyo iba pa talaga. I think magkakaroon yata ng upcoming nerf itong Brody na to on the 24th. Pero yeah, definitely an auto ban. Ito yung mga kadalasan na napasok sa ban Brody, even Natalia, yung Alice, yung Barats. Kumbaga itong tatlo na to, and somehow Esmeralda and Uranus medyo naglalaro pa sila in terms of the banning. Pero in terms of dito, Natalia, hindi sila willing. Medyo medyo na-open ngayon yung Selena. And alam naman natin na Selena has been, ito yung parang game changer in most of the team fight, especially on early game.
I think yung tama kayo kasi yung dumami yung mga auto-ban heroes na talagang OP. I think yung mga teams na expose nila ng kaunti yung weakness ng Selena, which is mainly on the wave clear. Rob. So parang kailangan mo siyang i-pair up with a funnel or a tank na talagang maganda yung wave clear. Yun yung dahilan kung bakit na-open talaga yung Selena. Kasi parang pag nakita ng Selena lineup, maghahanap to ng AOE na carry or AOE na tank. So parang medyo na-stipulate mo kung ano yung magiging strategy ng kalaban. Kaya naman nabibigay na rin yung Selena. Pero itong mga heroes na to, like Brody, Barats, Natalia, and Yuzhong, parang sila kahit saang klase ng composition, pasok sila. Kaya mas maganda na lang din na iban mo bukod dun sa fact na OP talaga sila sa meta natin ngayon.
Swak, no? Swak talaga itong mga hero na to eh. Pero this is gonna be a deny or a respect ban ng STI Olympians, Wolf, yung Jawhead dito ni Bibo na sobrang ganda nung pinakita. Ito yung tipo ng Jawhead na hindi ka bibigyan talaga ng purple buff. Ganun siya ka-dominant in terms of using this hero. Pero let's talk about the Benedetta. I mean, Benedetta, we haven't seen Benedetta on a lot more games, especially on pro matches. And bakit kaya it was part, I'm not really sure if STI Olympian already did use this one o ganun na ba yung lalim ng pag-scout dito ni Coach Panda on this player, or rather baka hindi lang talaga sila willing na i-open itong Benedetta.
Hindi talaga, man. Katulad nga na-post ko yung triple B. The Benedetta, Brody, Barats, these are the heroes that you almost automatically ban. Apart from yung Barats kasi yung pagiging sobrang OP niya is alam mo na mag-offlane siya pero wala kang magagawa about it. There's not really much counters, parang palir pa lang siguro or anything else, but nothing really is valid pa para makuha counter sa Brody. Ngayon naman, itong Benedetta at Brody, yung Barrett sinasabi ko parang off-lane talaga. Now, Benedetta and Brody, these heroes, they are flex heroes actually. Itong Brody, pwede siyang funnel, carry, or side lane. Katulad nung ikaw mismo, parehas naman, nagamit mo yun, parehas. Malakas sila. At yung Benedetta naman ay ganun din, pwede siyang side, parang medyo off-lane side siya, hindi siya ganun ka Brody na side lane. Kasi Brody side lane medyo core, parang nagpa-farm pa. Benedetta side is lane bully, tapos parang tumutulong sa laban, tapos carry din siya. So, even if you don't know kung ginilalaro siya ng kalaban mo, mas maganda na lang na iban mo if you're LPE.
I agree. Yeah, ang bilis din kasing umikot nitong Benedetta no? Pero going into the draft, no, ladies and gentlemen, itong Lunox na to, I've been also using this even on my normal rank game. And kapansin-pansin that Lunox is actually coming back into the meta. Not only for side lane, kumbaga nagiging flexy na din to Pwede mo siyang gamitin like a support on the mid kasama ng core mo, or rather ng tank mo. Kasi kadalasan in our term ng 1-3-1 funnel strategy is that basically yung core nyo, hinihayaan na lang siyang magkumuha ng sarili niyang buff and nandun yung support mo and your tank is actually zoning out doon sa kalaban. It's either they go invade or rather nambubuli sila on the mid lane. Pero itong Lunox, sobrang gamit na gamit to ngayon, Wolf, and I think I want to ask you, what are the things na meron ngayon for the Lunox? We've seen this on the previous sa mga iba't ibang tournament. Pero now nagbabalik siya on the meta. Hindi na masyado ginagamit yung like Farsa dati, Farsa, Chango. Pero ngayon it's all about Lunox on the support.
Okay, so many things. Una sa lahat ay flex pick siya. So napakasaya niyang i-draft sa first phase. Kasi isa siyang hero na hindi mo din talaga alam kung ano ang saan mo siya ilalagay. It could be a
parang
support,
show, no? Parang show.
Exactly. It's like a show. Tapos, when you build it up, ang ganda dahil may late game potential siya in a way. Although, kailangan mo maging aggressive with the Lunox. Pero kasi yung kanyang Chaos Bolt, if I'm not mistaken, it's HP based So, tank shredder siya. It's great against your Esmeralda. It's great against yung Yuzong, Barats, at kung ano pa mga heroes na HP based. So, I want to say for STI Olympians, I like that they opened up with the Lunox, pero itong Valier and Link combo ng Laus Autogroup PlaybookEsports, this is actually a good pick for them. Dahil Valier answers the Lunox as well as the Khalid, tapos generally speaking, comfort pick to ng LPE Eagles. So I like this a lot.
Yes, and as well na kinuha nila agad yung Esmeralda, no? That only denies na parang STI Olympian, even open dito ang Uranus, you wouldn't want to pick a Uranus over an Esmeralda, regardless hindi mo man to maging ka-lane. And I guess medyo maganda nga yung first 3 picks dito ng Eagles compared to what STI Olympians. Pero in terms of so both of the teams only we still haven't seen, or rather saying kung ito bang Khalid pang tank role since it's been picked by Deb. Pero syempre pagka ganun nangyari, side lane wala pa dito ang STI Olympians. What are the open, binan pa rin pala ng LPE yung Uranus. So anong mga side lane ngayon ang possible dito for STI Olympians?
I'm thinking Thumbs para sa STI Olympians. It's an Escanor special din. Although baka napapaisip sila, baka hindi ganun ganda ang Thumbs plus Khalid. Pero at this point, I think you wanna pick it up. Ayaw mong ibigay yan sa LPE Eagles. Alice should have been a good pick sana para sa eOlympians, pero hindi na din siya makukuha dahil nga dun sa ban. So there it is, the Thumbs. Sobrang this is a no choice for STI Olympians. Kailangan nilang piliin at this point.
Na-lock on sila, no? Sa ganitong situation. So, yeah, I'm still looking forward if this Khalid gonna be the tank. So, somehow naman dito for the side of wala pa silang actual tank for the LPE. And alam naman natin, this is BMO. He could potentially even use at show na tank, or rather, Ruby, baka possible din naman if ever. And it's, Kufra is even open. If I'm not mistaken, hindi pa updated yung nerf dito sa Kufra wherein you could be able to flicker out doon sa may bouncing ball.
I think hindi pa. I think we still need to wait for that November 24 patch. So,
I see.
Yun. with LPE Eagles, I like the Kufra a lot instead of the Choke. Mag-Kufra sila. Ruby makes a lot of sense, pero baka kulangan sila dito ng early game potential. Looking at their heroes, medyo farm dependent. I think mid game to late game pa ang kanilang spike. Not unless magkaroon ng malaking pagkakamali ang eOlympians. Kasi sa side naman nila, it's very early game centric. At pag dinagdag pa nila itong Eudora, it's gonna be deadly. Now, if you're looking at both teams, walang mas magandang draft in a way. Alam mo yun, parang mas may sariling flavor lang. Mas may kanya-kanyang win conditions tong dalawang to, mga kaibigan. So, I just want to remind everyone that if eOlympians are gonna do their job in the early stages at hindi nila pag-farmin itong LPE Eagles, it would be an easy game for them. But if we come to the late game, pag hindi naging aggressive ang eOlympians, they will be heavily punished by this late game composition of the Eagles.
Oo, kasi kumbaga LPE dito somehow they were like sustain and seeing of course dito yung Eudora, definitely that's gonna be a support na alam naman natin na ginagamit kadalasan na pantunaw sa isang link or even a Lancelot. Kumbaga once you get stunned, kumbaga tuloy-tuloy na yung mga talagang crowd control, and for sure Tempest of Blade medyo hindi mo na mapipindot pa in terms sa burst ng isang Eudora. Pero yeah, I agree with you, Wolf. Early game kailangan talagang i-maximize dito ng STI Olympians. We're in LPE, if they could be able to be somehow okay going into the mid game, for sure, mas magiging maganda yung takbo nila on the very first match nila on this series. Pero kayo mga kaibigan, sa mga nanonood dyan, do comment down below. Sino ba sa tingin nyo yung mas makakalabang? Is it gonna be LPE or SEO dito sa pinakauna nilang laban on the series? Triple threat tayo ngayon, guys. So, yeah, don't forget to share the live stream dahil mahaba-haba pa yung pagsasama natin. Of course, si Wolf din. Pero ako, excited na ako na makita to. Kumbaga, both of itong dalawang team pala na din ito, guys, is dalawang series din yung kanilang lalaruin. So it's all day Mobile Legends tayo for the Nationals.
Ito one of those rare moments na makikita natin more than once ng isang team sa isang araw. So it's exciting. At makikita nyo kung paano mag-adjust yung ibang teams. Some teams, medyo naglo-load management sila na parang sa first series, wala muna tayo masyado pakita. Next series na natin ibuhos. Yung ibang teams naman parang mas spread out. And we'll find out how the coaching staff and even the teams themselves, the players themselves manage this game. This is gonna be interesting. I feel that for this specific game, itong game number 1 natin, importante ang pag-abot ng win condition ng bawat teams. For example, parang ang cliche na ngayon Rob, na sabihin na dapat who controls the early game controls the game, kumbaga. Pero anong klaseng control ba yon? Para sa side ng SEO, aggressiveness. Kapag hindi sila aggressive, ibig sabihin hindi nila ginagawa yung trabaho nila. Para naman sa LPE, kung hindi sila nag-survive, it just means na hindi nila ginagawa yung trabaho nila. So that is the condition for the side of LPE.
Yeah, I agree in terms of winning condition. But before anything else, Wolf, we would like to remind everyone that this tournament is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board. And yeah, speaking of yung sinasabi mo kanina, Wolf, it's all about the power spike, no? Realizing kung kailan kailangan nyo ng teamfight, kailan nyo kailangan to take objective, and kaya nga nasabi natin, STIU Olympians, they are, kumbaga, medyo lamang sila dito on the early game at kailangan nilang i-maximize or fully utilize yung kalamangan nila na yun, or else LPE, pwede silang kumambak. And I guess, dito may talon Escanor, low on life, and medyo nagkakaroon lang ng konting brawl doon sa specific na crab na yon. So, medyo magiging tahimik to, no? In terms of invade, hindi naman somehow capable on both teams, and medyo risky din, no, Wolf?
It's parang risky siya, yes. Pero I feel na pag ginawa mo yung tamang timing, it's really gonna work out for you. Like STI Olympians, kung notice mo, this is how you do with the Lingna. Yung unang buff bigay mo, pero yung pangalawa at pangatlo, wag.
Ay, oo, medyo malaking bagay na yun. Speaking of malaking bagay, this is gonna be 4 versus 2 ang rotation. Rather, 3v3 na pala. Nandito na rin si Dev, going in for the Desert Tornado dito sa may bandang likod, pero nakapag-flicker out si Ryota. Ang ganda ng anticipation on both teams. Kumbaga masasabi mo na full yung communication nila on this game. Kumbaga, sakto Pagdating ni Dev, out kaagad si Ryota, pero meanwhile, onto the bottom lane, Jake the Dog versus the Lunox here. I guess may edge ang Lunox dito in terms of this matchup, no, Wolf?
Supposedly, yes. What you need to do now for Cram is huwag ka magpapatama dun sa mga dash nga ni Jake the Dog kasi dun ka malulugi when it comes to HP. Pero generally speaking, yeah, Ruby might lose that. In the middle, that's the first blood.
Oo, and it's Yato. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, being very good on its core. Pero kasi, this is the early game no? Kailangan talagang ma-maximize to. Itong para sa... Pero in terms of rotation, I think STI Olympia, safe to say, sila yung nagbibigay ng tempo. Pero ang ganda ng talon dito ni Vivo. May bangga doon sa may bouncing ball. Pero nakapag-puncture out pa naman dito si Yato. Dev, going in pero hindi pa siya level 4. Wala pa siyang raging sandstorm at hindi niya mapapatay dito si Vivo. Good attempt. But speaking of attempt, Escanor will fall down onto the top lane.
Nag-dive siya without his teammates and the rotation was there coming out from the lane. Napakagandang reaction from the Eagles. Well, we can see the first turtle, a very, very, very important para sa STI Olympians. Kailangan nila makuha yan at control. I think they're moving top lane.
Yes, moving top lane. And Ryota, of course, I think hindi pa nagpo-cooldown yung kanya. Or rather, instead of flicker pala yung kanina, he actually has here a Purify. So, in terms of rotation, ang ganda ng rotation dito ng STI Olympians. Yun nga lang, hindi pa nila to na convert into objective at mukhang LPE pa. Pero they gonna contest this first turtle of the game ball. Pero yun, nakuha to ni Yato at episode lane, been used, pero nakapag-out pa rin naman siya. And I think STI Olympians, they're chasing in arms, low on HP, double kill here coming dito kay Yato and kasama na yata pati Pato dahil medyo ang ganda na ng facing or ng start dito ng STI Olympians. Sinusubukan pa yata nilang i-invade yung purple buff doon ni Aspect pero with no avail. Pero Wolf, STI Olympians, sabi mo nga, the power spike nila dito was the early game at mukhang ginagawa naman nila to ng tama.
Lack of respect, I would say, for LPE Eagles. What they did was finurse nila yung ultimate Cram bago sila ng turtle. In many ways, tama naman yung ganong klaseng move na i-force mo yung isang massive ultimate or i-poke mo yung kalaban before you take the turtle. But they did not respect the fact na pwede may respo doon. And nag-respo nga talaga ang SEO Olympians. Unfortunately for the Eagles, hindi sila talaga malakas at this point. Lalong-lalo na dun sa turtle fight na yan, kahit walang brilliance, itong ultimate ng ating Lunox, there's still Lancelot na nakita mo naman, very easy nakakuha yung retribution play. Meron silang Thams and Eudora, Lunox, Khalid. These are early game centric heroes. Walang contention ng Eagles. Unless makakuha sila ng isang kill, hindi nila kaya mag-take ng turtle.
Oo, pero ang ganda nung ng pwesto dito ni Deb Pero medyo na-clear pa naman yung minion wave pero mukhang mag-disengage na ngayon ng STI Olympian. Deb so play, Vinius, talon doon sa likod si Escanor, hindi pa siya namatay. Yato here going in. Ryota, medyo nabuhay pa nga naman din but Deb, nabubuhay pa with the quick sun guard. Hindi enough yung damage pero Jake the Dog going in, joining the fight mga kaibigan. Pero it's gonna be one down, it's only gonna be BMO pero hindi pa tapos dito. Wolf, looks like STI Olympians really want to push this top lane. Ito na sabihin na natin na nanalo dito ang STI Olympians. They're already on a 2,000 gold lead. Pero we still have to give props for the Eagles right now. Kasi regardless na natatalo sila in terms of the kills, hindi pa rin sila basta-bastang mapush ng STI Olympians.
Definitely. For STI, yes, malakas sila early game, but Eagles, if they defend well, they might win this. Pero yung STI Olympians, pag kinapitalize sila yung kanilang early game prowess, they can still take over this game.
Ganda ng ultimate doon ni Bimo. Dikit yung dalawa sa pader with the combination dito ng ultimate ngayon dito ni Ling. Masyado siya ditong nagbagaling pero mga kaibigan, it's gonna be a second turtle for the side of the STI Olympians. Medyo malalim dito, Wolf, si Escanor, and I think kaya ba to i-hold ng kanyang ultimate kahit wala pa yatang Necklace of Durance, walang mananalo doon sa, kumbaga, na micro na doon yung Tamos, ladies and gentlemen. And I think Orbs here are already building on his Necklace of Durance as of the moment.
STI Olympians, nag-gamble sila ng dalawang bagay para lang makuha yung turtle. Like the bottom lane, they used their Lunox na ginamitan ng dalawang ultimate into the bottom part of the map. That's Jake the Dog's ultimate. Actually, pati rin pala yung kay Bimo at kay Aspect. So, 3 ultimates in total para lang din makontrol Lunox. But that also meant na nakuha ng STI Olympians yung turtle. Dahil na rin sa sacrifice ni Escanor dun sa may top lane. Yung aggressive play niya na yun, it helped STI Olympians take the turtle. And we were really talking about how important this turtle is para sa STI Olympians. So, wala respect kung na ginagawa yun.
Exactly.
Wow.
Pero nabuhay pa si Jake the Dog doon sa may phantom execution. Ito na naman, quick sand guard. Pero here, the Eagles are actually onto the rescue dito, papunta sa bottom lane. Nandito na yung Ling, nandito na rin sa Bimo, nakaramdam ang STIE Olympians. Pero ito, I want to ask this question sa iyo, Wolf. STIE Olympians definitely got the 2 turtles here on the game. Pero still, yung mga outer turrets here for the Eagles, sabihin na natin hindi pa ganon kabawas, even the bottom and the top lane. And I think it's still a good thing for the side of the Eagles. Pero ito, meron na namang laban na magaganap here. Cram, just waiting in. Hindi rin nila basta-basta mapasok dito yung Lunox kasi medyo binibait sila with the Brilliance. Pero I think, in terms of minion wave clears, nakakasabay talaga dito ang Eagles, Wolf.
That is really good for the team. Wala man silang Farsa, meron naman silang Valir to help clear the waves. And if you're looking at this, Esmeralda and Ruby, kaya nilang i-hold yung side lanes na yan forever against STI Olympians. This is a good step into the right direction para sa STI, para sa LPE Eagles on how they defend.
Oo, pero medyo tumumba doon si Arps. Medyo hindi niya kinaya yung damage coming from that. Ang ganda naman nung Thorn Rose na yon. Just na hindi siya tamaan ng talon dito ni Vivo. Pero may palag pa nga naman din. Flicker out na muna dito yung Kuka. Pero Dev going one-on-one against dito kay Ryota. And he might not actually die pa naman. And I think STI Olympians getting the outer turret here on the mid lane will open a lot para dito sa base ng Eagles. And another turtle up for the taking ngayon, mga kaibigan. Will the Eagles contest this one? That's gonna be the question. Nandito ang mata ngayon ni Aspect, pero it's not gonna be enough dahil nakuha na naman ito ni Yato.
Yep.
Now, in terms of the lead, this is already slowly nagsiscale talaga for the side of STIE Olympians. Somehow, what's gonna be the power spike ba in terms of itemization, in terms of level? Ano pa ba ang kailangan gawin dito ng STI Olympian para mas lalo nilang ma-choke ngayon ang Eagles?
I think they're waiting for their BOD timings or yung MS balance. Yung second item for the core on top of the Heptaseason na carry. Escanor naman kailangan niya ng Queen's Wings. Dahil siya yung tutulong mag-front line para sa STI Olympians.
Parang it's like a pseudo tank para dito sa may Tamos.
That's right,
pero
that's right.
Nagmintes yung Raging Sandstorm dito ng ating Khalid. Pero may backup dito si Kram, ngunit wala siyang mana to be able to burst down. Pero yun na nga, STIE Olympians already taking 2 towers on the bottom lane, and it is already, we're only closing into the 10-minute mark. So yes, this is basically the mid-game. Pero still, Eagles, hindi pa sila masyado nakakasuntok. Yes, may bawi sila ng Torre doon sa may bandang itaas. Pero kulang pa to, hindi pa to yung hinahanap natin na power spike para sa draft na ginawa dito ng LPE.
They're still waiting. So para sa STI Olympians, ang dami nilang na-check na mga check boxes, Rob. Like, control the early game, get the farm on the Lancelot, get the 3 turtles for their team at makapag-push. Meron na silang 2,000 lead in this moment. Is it gonna be enough? Comfortable na ba ang STI Olympians with this kind of lead? Some will say na hindi siguro. Pero tingnan natin kung paano nila gagamitin itong 2K lead heading into the mid-game where their power spike really is.
Medyo malalim dito si Dev Wolf pero hindi siya mapatay just using the quick sand guard and a triple kill kay Yato with kasama pang patay kay Bimo. Wow! Yung bait na ginawa doon ng Khalid was totally worth it. And speaking of worth it, hindi pa nga siya namatay doon. And this Khalid thanking everyone from the side of LPE. Ladies and gentlemen, STIE Olympian showing here on the very first game who's boss. Ryota dito trying to clear the minion wave. Tama ba yung kanyang desisyon? Dahil papasukin siya mismo dito ng STIE Olympian. This might convert into a base turret here on the bottom lane. Mabubuhay pa lang si Bimo together with Ars, the Balir, and bigay na to mga tol. Dahil STIE Olympians got what they need, mga hero, mga Torre, and it's gonna be a free lord possibly sa kanila, Wolf.
This is what they really, really would want to have. Kuha na tatlong turtle, tapos makakuha ng push. Kahit na wala mo ng inhibitor or base turret, okay na, basta makuha nila yung lord. Pero they got even more. Definitely that play, makikita natin na nagbago ng fate ng STIE Olympians. Hindi ganun kalaking lead nila, Rob,
No.
but that was so massive. Bakit? Dahil yun na yung nagbago nung momentum ng laban talaga. Feel na natin na sa STIE Olympians na siya. He knows that he needs to be tanky. Naka-oracle siya kanina and a casual dreadnought armor. Perfect para tangkihin ang magic damage para sa Oracle. Tapos physical damage output naman mula dun sa kanilang mga physical damage dealers with the dreadnought armor. Kaya din nabuhay siya. That bait play helped STIE Olympians win the match.
Grabe, buhay pa doon si Escanor while you're actually explaining everything what happened. Kung nakita mo yon, Escanor, not only the Khalid who did it earlier, it was even the Tamos na hindi enough yung kit or rather yung mga damage na binabato dito ngayon ng Eagles, and that's bad news. Kasi kung hindi na nila mapatay kagad ng isang Khalid na nag-quick sand guard, what more na may andito para sumasama na rin together si Escanor together with the Lord on the bottom lane. Ang delikado ngayon dito ang Eagles for sure. Dahil diretso lang, tore lang ang punteriya dito ng STI eOlympians. Yung Lord nandun na sa loob, pero wala pa namang minion wave. They're still waiting here. Pero nakisama yung Lord mga to dahil nandito sila sa gitna pero pumapatay. Grab, it's actually getting dito yung balir. May kasunod pa yata. Buhay pa rin yung Lord mga kaibigan. Them still alive. Quick sand guard. Hindi enough. The damage from the Eagle is really lacking. Ladies and gentlemen, Yato with the legendary beat pa sa likod. Grab, unti-unting nawawala ang mga miyembro rito ng Eagles and a triple kill para sa Lancelot, and the first game will be taken by STI eOlympians.
Oh man, congratulations the STI Olympians for winning game number 1 against the LPE Eagles. Katulad ng sinabi ko doon sa draft kanina, Rob, nangyari talaga because that's what we can see from the nature of the heroes. Late game centric ang side ng LPE Eagles. At a certain point, Rob, tama ang ginagawa ng LPE Eagles. Yung 2K lead ng isang early game lineup, hindi ganun dapat kalaki yun. Parang yung feeling niya ay hindi din malaki yung 2K, and LP Eagles could really have lasted longer kung tinuloy lang nila yung kanilang ginagawa. But Deb, with that bait play, hindi na parang nakalimutan ng LP Eagles na hindi sila pwede magpa-bait. You always have to respect the damage output and the tankiness of your opponents, lalong-lalo na dahil early game centric ang STI Olympians. Na bait sila. That casual Dreadnought armor, man, ito yung mga favorite ko na ngayon. Pwede nyo na. Pro tip guys sa mga gusto maging tank dyan. Pag nakita nyo na mga 3 o 2 ang ang physical damage dealer sa kalaban, kunin nyo yan. Up to what? 18% or 36% yata? 18% physical damage resistance yan. Sa early stages, ang ang taas niyan, Rob.
Malaki talaga yung binibigay ng halfway through ng isang ng Dreadnought armor going into the Antikiras, and it's a must item talaga, specifically ang mga damage. Ito nga medyo kung makapansin mo, the only damage kasi the physical coming from the Ling. At isang medyo masakit pa sa ulo para sa isang core into doon sa opponent niya is that if you're the only damage dealer and you're actually being forced to build a sea halberd para lang to penetrate doon sa mga region like for example ng Tamus or even the Khalid, parang it's too much kung para mas pipiliin mo na sana nag-item na lang ako na DHS or Demon Hunter Sword or nag-Windtalker ako for a faster farm, pero I still have to make this item, this Deadly Blade or rather sea halberd para mas additional stat siya. Pero yeah, wow, STI Olympians winning winning under winning condition and realizing kung nasan yung mga power spike nila all throughout the game, specifically dun sa bait plays ni Deb together with Escanor on the bottom lane. Wow. Signal Ultra Warriors for sure are really about to see or probably not shaking, pero for sure nakikita nila na mukhang mahihirapan or mapapalaban sila mamaya. Pero bago natin pag-usapan yan, let's go ahead and check the highlights of that match.
Yeah. Makikita natin yung mga magandang plays ng STI Olympians. But if you think about it, yung LPE Eagles, dapat hindi sila ganun ka hard press na lumaban. In fact, if they just kept on defending and try nilang kumuha ng pick-ups man lang, mga ganun, it would be really good. Like this one, ang LPE Eagles, napakommit sila na kanilang mga ultimates para lang i-take down yung Lunox. Tapos na-feel nila na siguro pwede sila mag-turtle pero na-punish talaga sila doon. Escanor sacrificed himself para hindi makakuha ng second turtle ang ang Eagles at makuha ng STI Olympians. And Jake the Dog surviving with those shaking and baking moves ni Kuya Jake the Dog. But later on, I think ito na yata yung next na highlight natin, Rob. Dun sa my top lane, we will see how STI Olympians found a good clash. Ayun na si Deb, 4 yung tinatangki niya. But hindi respect ng Eagles, and Yato just really destroyed them all.
Kinulang sila dito ng damage, I think, Wolfie. I think the Ruby pick here was medyo naging reactive in terms of the overall draft dito ng Eagles. Well, the Esmeralda is okay, pero if the only damage that you have, specifically on the early game, is gonna be the Ling, medyo mahihirapan kayo in terms of scaling eh. No? Ganun ko siya nakita kasi parang doon sa may top lane nakakasabay naman somehow doon si Ryota. But before that, of course, our MVP of the game, it's gonna be Yato, our Lancelot with a 12-0-2 KDA with a kill participation of 82%. Medyo malaki to, Wolf, para sa isang Lancelot. Kumbaga, 4 out of 5 na mga skirmishes lagi siyang nandun. Together with the hero damage, turret damage, all throughout. Ang galing. But look at the damage taken, 23k, pero wala siyang patay dito. That only says na ang ganda, ang galing mag-position. Mapapansin mo yun doon sa triple kill na nagawa niya doon nung nag-bait si Deb. Hinintay talaga nila. Sige, ibuhos nyo lahat dyan sa Kali, then right after you burn all your skills, saka ako papasok.
Yeah, I like it kasi parang he really knows kung kailan siya tama naman. I think that nasabihan din siya ng mga teammates nila kung paano mag-dominate bilang Lancelot in the early stages while not also being careless. Kumbaga aggressive ka pero hindi ka careless, kaya naman din na-maximize yung Lancelot in the early stages.
Yeah, kumbaga aggressive ka pero hindi ka careless. I like it, Wolf. Pero speaking of like it, ladies and gentlemen, of course, alam kong nagustuhan nyo din yung pinakaunang series ng LPE versus SEO. Pero magkakaroon lang muna tayo ng very short break at mababalik ang The Nationals. Welcome back to The Nationals Mobile Legends Season 2, the first franchise-based esports league in the country. You are about to watch the second match against in between Laus Auto Group PlaybookEsports Eagles versus STI eOlympians. We're gonna be your caster. My name is Rob Luna. Kasama ko ngayon dito si Wolf, and of course gusto kong tanungin, paano ang comeback ngayon dito, Wolf, ng LP against STI? I mean, that loss, tingin mo paano makaka-apekto to sa kanila on the second game?
Well, actually para sagutin ang yung tanong, ang sasabihin ko dyan ay kailangan nilang kalimutan actually yung nangyaring game na yun. They have to just shrug it off. Kasi okay naman yung draft nila. Like I said, it was a valid win condition against dun sa early game centric na draft ng SEO Olympians. In fact, nasa tama naman yung direction talaga ng LPE Eagles if not for that one clash na nabait sila. Ngayon, if they still want to play like that, if LPE Eagles still wants to stick with that kind of strategy, ang number one dapat na sabihin sa kanila ni Coach Panda ay wag na wag kayo magpapabait. Do not be. Wag ka magpapabait dun sa fact na nakakakita ka ng isang hero na akala mo mapatay na. Lalong na tank Kali to. Just have to respect that. Back out. Just farm. Honestly, kung wala sila, kahit 0 kills sila all throughout the early stage, kahit 18 minutes 0 kills sila, mananalo pa rin sila dun sa laban na yon kung napaabot minutes pataas. You know?
Yeah,
if they do respect that, yeah.
Parang parang yung power spike talaga yung first match, or rather yung draft kanina ng LPE was actually on the 18-minute mark above, kasi dito na magsiscale talaga na hindi na kayang i-burst down kagad, like for example yung Ruby kanina, or syempre of course the damage coming from the Ling medyo mapepenetrate na dito yung katulad like the Eudora, even the Lunox kanina. So well, of course sabi mo nga, Wolf, parang somehow kalimutan na nila agad. Kumbaga, full reset na agad tayo. This is already game number 2, a brand new drafting, and SEI Olympians dito surprisingly banning the Lunox. Kumbaga, they're not willing to give it para sa Eagles right now. And still, LPE banning here the Benedetta. Almost the same ban na nagkaroon tayo kanina, no? Pero what do you think? In terms of being fundamental for LPE, I think they had it during the early game. Yun nga lang, I agree with you na wag sila masyado magpa-jabit. Like for example, mag-isa doon yung Khalid. They burn all their skills, then suddenly nandun na rin pala yung the rest of the group ng STI Olympians.
That's right. Kasi ito yung masasabi ko, ang ganda ng ginagawa talaga ng Eagles. Like yung side lane Ruby, they actually, sobrang commendable yung ginawa ni Jake the Dog. He won against the Lunox. Tapos yung Esmeralda top lane, hindi rin siya na-push. In fact, yung middle, kaya pa nalang madepensan. Kung mas maga lang siguro si Bimo nung pagtalon. Tapos, alam mo yung ginawa ni Raflesha na itulak niya yung minion wave palayo. Tapos yun yung skill niya. kasi sacrifice yung isa rin niya, madedefend nila din yung mid lane turret eh.
Was it
for
the
many
arrival
minutes.
play?
Parang ganun, di ba?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Man, LPE Eagles, honestly, they just have to shrug it off. Tama yung ginagawa nila in the early stages. It's just that STI eOlympians, mas firm naman yung understanding nila nung kanilang early game. I want to say, super duper commendable play from Deb. Imagine, 0 deaths na Tank Khalid. Normally, Tank Khalids, ang bilis mag-feed niyan. Kasi na-overestimate nila yung strength ng kanilang hero. A lot of open heroes though. Johed, Hilda, Yuzong, they're all available for anybody to pick. And let's see if LPE Eagles will take the Yuzong after this.
And even medyo may lamang yung opponent nila in terms of the hero. Pero ngayon, Alice, I think kahit sino yata kayang sabayan ng Alice on the sideline. Even Yuzong. And where we're in, STI eOlympians, napapansin mo, no, Wolf? STI eOlympians, the way they actually draft, Coach Blupsy, it's more on early game talaga siya nakafocus. Parang, let's give it all on the early to mid game and not somehow focus on the late game. Kumbaga, pagdating sa late game, macro na lang yung dating. No?
Idadaan mo sa utak, sa experience, alam mo yan, sa communications na lang. Yeah, I do believe that will be the case. Alam mo, Rob, this is my personal favorite flavor sa my side lanes. Meron kang Yuzong, Playmaker, Alice, so much damage in the mid game and the late game. Tapos nakuha to ng Eagles. However, this is scary. Ang problema sa lineup na nakita mo na agad yung side lanes mo, SEO eOlympians can really draft against this. If you're looking at their draft, it's Johed, Farsa, yung unang tatlong picks ng STI eOlympians, ito yung mga mid lane matchup nila. So, what you can do if you're STI is look for heroes that can actually answer the Alice as well as the Yuzong. That, to me, tells me na kailangan ng Eagles iban ang Baksha. Because if not, STI eOlympians will really take that hero so easily. Tapos, counter na agad ang Eagles. Wow! I don't like the Eudora third pick though. Kasi, it's easy to really, work around with.
Yes, and somehow this is gonna be a definite target para sa isang Johed and even can be sniped by a Farsa. Pero kasi ang thinking kasi dito nila, no, in terms of drafting, is that whenever they pick the Eudora, it's totally naka-focus siya dito sa lane. Whenever he goes down, pagbaba niya ng pader, we stun it, we focus it, lahat ibato natin doon sa lane na giving him time na makapag-tempest of blade para mas ma-knock up tayo. Pero yeah, I agree with you that this is gonna be a little bit risky for the side of the LPE. And yun nga, gaya na sabi mo kanina, kumbaga nakalabas na ngayon yung mga alas dito eh. Both of that. And kumbaga kahit even STI, you already know this is gonna be their the funnel strategy, the 1-3-1 type. Kita mo na kagad. Meanwhile naman for the Eagles, wala pa silang ganun because they tend to prioritize their side lane. The only ones has been seen here is the Eudora. So, ngayon, paano mangyayari dito? Joy, most of the time, this is the invade type. Will the Eagles gonna be picking a core like a Lancelot? Or were they gonna be going for like a marksman here on this game?
So, dalawa yung option dyan eh. Kuha ka ng either safe na taker or yung tank mo naman yung para taga-depensa mo. Looking at this, Hilda has been banned by SEO Eolypians. It's really smart. Eagles, man, I'm really scared. Hinayaan nila yung Baksha. Unless kukunin nila yung Baksha in this fourth slot, it will make sense to me. But if that's not the case, dun tayo yari. Natalia ay bukas, by the way. And Eagles might actually consider that. Kasi parang ito yung counter counter roam nila. Kasi kung Joyd, nang gugulo siya, you go for the Natalia para siya yung hahabulin itong Joyd. Nagkakaroon na ng konting mirroring ng kanilang mga galawan this match. So, instead it's Akai. It also acts the same way, man. I like the Akai kung sakaling masisecure to ng Eagles.
But they're still hovering it. Pero yeah, I like your Natalia inside. It's workable. Kumbaga yan yung kadalasan na ginagamit on the previous meta like the Selena into the Natalia combination. Pero yeah, mukhang Akai pa rin yung kanilang napili dito. Well, it still works para for the side of the Eagles. Since ang ano nila dito is gonna be the Johed na parang they might be picking here a very squishy na core on this side kasi pwede mong bigyan na to ng early game type of core itong Eagles kasi ang Yuzong and Alice could definitely scale down onto the mid to the late game. So hindi mo na kailangan dito ng todong damage You just have to work around your early game kasi yun yung pinapakita ngayon ng STI. And for the Eagles, of course, ayaw mo na mapunta dun sa sitwasyon na parang nagiging reactive sila like what they had during the first match, na naghihintay sila ng mid to late game. Kahit papano, sabihin na natin scaling yung draft nyo, pero gusto nyo pa rin sumuntok sa early game.
Oh man, I don't like this at all. Baksha is honestly man, it's just the perfect hero para sa STI Olympians. Instead, kumuha sila ng Uranus, gagawin nilang side lane yung far side, then you have the Natalia.
Yeah.
I like the Natalia in a way against the Eudora. Sobrang kakainin lang ito ni Selena. But apart from that, it's mga tank heroes to sa Eagles eh. Parang SEO Olympians, I think nung nakita nila na may Selena, they felt like pwede natin pilito. I wanna say kanina, Rob, Eagles, since na-establish nila yung Alice and Yuzong, pwede sila magkaroon ng greedy na core. Greedy in a way na pwede na siyang protektahan nitong Akai as well as nitong Eudora. Parang ipagpa-farm na lang sila. Kasi yung side lanes ay solid na. Alice and Yuzong, they can fend for themselves. Itong Hayabusa, napakagandang find mula sa Eagles. It answers a lot of the heroes from STI Olympians. Apart from the Ling siguro. Pero yung Ling versus Hayabusa matchup, hindi naman siya yung one versus another. It's more about one outplaying another, di ba? Hintayan niya ng skills. And it's gonna be up to how LPE Eagles will utilize this. Honestly, Rob, LPE Eagles, they got away with their draft, with their greedy draft. SEO Olympians, parang medyo lumayo sila dun sa maganda na sana yung kanilang trajectory heading into this draft, pero parang medyo lumiko. Pero tingnan natin, baka naman kasi ito yung comfortable na playstyle ng STI Olympians. And syempre, you will understand kung bakit mas gusto nila na unahin yung comfort nila before anything else. Yeah,
baka nga yun yung talagang na-practice ika nga dito ng STI Olympians. Pero yeah, the backshot did make fit. I mean, talagang mag-fit siya doon sa lineup nila, given that this is gonna be a full sustain coming from the side lane dito ng LPE. Pero I think yung the Hayabusa was like the nail in the coffin para sa side dito ng ano. Kasi hindi na gaya ng sabi ko kanina, Wolf, hindi na kailangan ng todo na damage because Alice and as well with the Yushong could be able to provide that on the to the late game. So etong Hayabusa, ito na yung magiging sagot nila, and it actually gonna force yung mga mage dito ng STI Olympians to have a winter transition para hindi sila kagad ma-pick off. Pero, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the first, or rather the second match in between LPE versus SEO, and this tournament is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board. And yes, Wolf, on the second game, mukhang malakas ang dating ngayon ng draft ng LPE. Mukhang gusto nila talagang i-force ang game number 3.
Yeah. Interesting, by the way, guys. Ito yung trick na ginagawa ito with the jaw head. Really, SEO, gusto ko lang explain ng mabilis, Rob, yung importance ng early game na to. Dinelay yung cannon sa mid lane para din ma-delay yung pag-clear ng Eagles, habang yung Selena naman naglagay na ng trap. So dalawa yung na-achieve nila doon. Binigyan nila ng magandang early game link kaya level 2 agad, while si Aspect ay level 1 pa lang so that they can be aggressive. At they even use the flicker. Arms is gonna go down. STI Olympians, napakagandang first set of moves. Picture perfect. Panggalawang global yon, men.
Oo, yung I mean, total ano talaga ako sa mga ganun sa mga gumagawa ng ganun ng Jawhead, yung binabato yung siege cannon. Kasi hindi mo kasi pwedeng hindi hayaan lang yon na pupunta na lang ng then kunin mo na lang after. Kasi yung unang siege cannon gonna be your level 2 diba?
Yes,
so hindi mo pwedeng iwanan lang yon basta-basta. So medyo slight, siguro sabihin na natin around 3 to 4 seconds na delay, pero this is Mobile Legends and every second count, especially on the early game. Pero ito na, mukhang may bawi naman yata, but Iota will be falling down, pero may kuha naman doon ni Deb yung HP, or rather, nakuha doon ng Hayabusa. 1-1, and I guess still, STI Olympians still winning the early game here, Wolf.
You know, what really is important dun sa my side lanes, guys, is the outer turret energy shields. Kaya naman pag nakakuha ng kill around the 2-minute mark or 1-minute 30 mark dun sa may side lanes, kung saan hindi pa nakapares po yung mga supports, sobrang dami ng nakuha mong gold out of that. Kasi lalapit ka dun sa torre, katulad na ginawa ni Selena at ni Uranus dun sa may bottom lane, nakakuha sila ng isang kill at nakakuha sila ng about 50% outer turret energy shield, which is a lot of gold. If you're looking at the top of your screen, mga kaibigan, laki na ng gold lead agad ng STI eOlympians.
Yung din malaking talaga yung energy shield kung sino yung mas makakakuha ng maraming hit onto the turrets talaga in the early stages of the game. Mind you, no, pati sa mga viewers natin, na-move na to, no? It's already been 5 minutes and there's a big possibility na even kahit dalawang torre pwedeng ma-deplete, and that's gonna be a huge boost para sa mga cores dito ng respected teams. Pero meanwhile, ang nangyayari pa rin dito, Eagles are still holding on and it's still the STI eOlympians or getting the tempo. Kumbaga sila yung unang sumusuntok and it's happened on the first game at ang kadalasan nangyayari is nasa-secure nila yung turtle dito on the game. Pero looks like Eagles, they are willing na mag-contest kagad on the first turtle, Wolf.
Yep. I want to say for Eagles side, they are okay with what happened in the early stages of the game. Wag lang patuloy-tuloy na ganun. I think that Ryota not having the level, parang may level gap between Escanor and Ryota. Napakaganda niya para sa isang Uranus kasi si Yuzong, normally siya yung nakakalabang sa lane niya, but that kill was really important para sa STI eOlympians.
Oh my, mukhang na-force yata yung shadow kill doon. Wolfani aspect doon kay Deb, and that's bad news para sa Eagles. Pero nandito na yung Dragon aspect dying kay Yato. That's gonna be a double kill para sa Ling at hindi pa nila. The Aka is still alive, pero gonna be one arrow coming from Dian and gonna be a 2-for-1 exchange. Patay yung Ling, pero they did took the turtle at naka-double kill siya on the process. I think it's still a clear STI win over that first turtle.
For sure. And Escanor, na-deplete na niya yung energy shield dito sa may bottom lane. That's a lot of gold in their favor. Top lane, may movement kay Jake the Dog, and definitely STI eOlympians are taking over in this early stages of the game. 4 minutes pa lang, Rob. It's already about more than 2,000 gold. STI eOlympians. Baka pa sila ng torre sa baba. This is massive for the eOlympians.
Massive indeed dahil buo na rin yung enchanted talisman doon, and hindi pa pala nakuha yung turtle kanina pero ngayon pa lang it's taken by Yato, mga kaibigan. What actually happened is na-force nila si Aspect diba? And ito na naman is almost the same what happened on game number 1. Yung presence dito ng Johed ni Deb, talagang na-force niya yung mga players dito or rather ng mga heroes dito ng Eagles na gamitin yung kanilang mga skill for this specific hero, pero nasasayang, and that's what Deb wants. Kumbaga, all eyes on me.
Yeah. And this means that STI eOlympians will have map control right now. And it's a problem kasi you're talking about all eyes on me, di ba? Parang first the eOlympians, they have this option na pwede sila maglagay ng Uranus dito sa may bottom lane para maging offensive, while Cram can be defensive with this Sparsa. Wave clear, ulti-ulti lang yan. Tapos yun, mga rotation coming up from eOlympians means na may mapapana sila sa Eagle side. It's definitely difficult now for the Eagles dahil ang control na ng mapa ay nasa eOlympians na.
Oo, the mere fact na yung Uranus nandun na in between your base and your inner, or rather your outer and inner turret, tas wala kayong magawa. It just says that na ganun naka-confident dito ang STI eOlympians, and slowly nacho-choke na ngayon nila dito ang Eagles, and once this aspect hindi na siya makakuha ng far, pero later na yan dahil yung shadow kill niya dito, mamamatay pa naman dito si De, pero dito the Dragon was here. May counter dito si Yato getting the Eudora onto the backlane, pero papalag pa rin naman. The arrow will not connect dito ni Dian, and eto na ang Fated Earthstrike just to show off the rest of the members here of the Eagles. Arrow once again will not connect. Hindi na kaya aabot dito ang late game prowess ng Eagle. That's gonna be a big question dahil sunod-sunod yung aggression na pinapakita dito ng STI eOlympians. They're still not enough. Hindi pa sila tapos dahil yung shadow kill pinantayan ng Tempest of Blade and another death na manggagaling dito kay Aspect. Mukhang eto na, Wolf, Eagles slowly crumbling here onto the mid game, or rather early game pa nga lang.
I wanna say, Rob, we did say kanina dun sa matchup ng Ling versus Hayabusa, parang paunahan magkamali, di ba? Kung sino unang mag-pop na kanyang ultimate, siya yung lugi. Because imagine this, if the Ling pops his ultimate and is a blade, Hayabusa, easy shadow kill na lang yan. But if Hayabusa goes first with the shadow kill, like what happened in the bottom lane, na ginamit niya defensively, wala na siyang quad shadow, napakadaling Tempest of Blades para mag-survive. Saktong-sakto, paglapag ni Hayabusa, may Tempest of Blades siyang harapin. So, Eagles really gambled with this Hayabusa last pick. It made sense to me. Unfortunately, SEO Olympians, mas nabasa nila yung gustong gawin ng Eagles. Kaya naman din sila nangyari like this step. Ang ganda naman na checkmate doon. Si Jake the Dog.
Walang kawala yon talaga, Wolf, kasi I mean alam na nila na nagagamitin yung flowing blood doon, pantakas dito ni Jake the Dog. And wow, STI Olympians dito, ladies and gentlemen, are showing talaga that they did their homework against LPE, and supposedly that the side lanes here coming from the Eagles will be strong enough to sustain them going into the late game. Pero ito, medyo hindi na sila ngayon dito makalabas. Black Dragon has been used, pero with no avail, Ryota dito, ginamit nila lang itong pantakas. Sooner or later, mawawala na yung mga inner turrets here for the Eagles, and what gonna be their answer here para sa STIE Olympians? Well, if you were in the side of the Eagles right now, how would you attack here for STI? Kasi mukhang hindi na, mukhang mawawala na. Pero before you actually answer that question, mukhang si Jake the Dog will gonna be sniped out, pero buntik! Tumama yung flame shot, and that's might be the end doon ng Alice. Pero buti na lang hindi, dahil ang STIE Olympians ngayon ay magbaback away, hintay ng Lord, and that's gonna be a discipline coming from this team.
Okay, so to answer your question, Rob, una sa lahat, kailangan nilang itignan yung mga waves. But at the same time, kailangan may gawin sila na play para may makalabas sa kanila. At I think that you will put it on Jake the Dog. Kailangan niya tibayan yung loob niya. Kailangan niyang laruin ang pinakamalupit na Alice game niya ever. Like yung kanina ginawa niya, di ba? Kilikili niya yung wave with the ultimate, and that's nice. Tapos flowing blood, sana para makalayo. Pero yung ginawa niya flowing blood is pabalik din sa base niya. What if gawin niya is forwards? Magpahabol siya na magpahabol para yung mga lanes ay medyo matulak away from the Eagle side. So, I think that it's gonna be important for this Alice kung paano niya kontrolin. Ibayan niya loob niya at gawin niya yung pinakamalakas na Mobile Legends action niya!
Ganda ng pagkaka-pin down doon, Wolf. Medyo that's gonna be the start for the Eagles at least. Ay nakuha nila doon sa crab. Pero mukhang hindi pa sila yata dito tapos. Pero palag doon sa may bandang likod. Yato going in. Medyo malalim dito yung link. Hindi niya nakuha si Jake the Dog. Ryota with a counter engage dito, mga kaibigan. STIE Olympians step was being executed. Pero meron siyang immortality. Pero Ryota hindi niya na lang din kukunin. But look at Escanor zoning out the rest of the Eagles here, mga kaibigan. Pero Wolf, looks like nagkaroon ng breather ang Eagles dahil doon sa pagkaka-pin down doon sa Farsa.
This is definitely what they need. Napakagandang talon mula kay Bimo. And this is not a Farsa that is played as a support. This is a core Farsa. So, napakalaki nung kill na yun from the Eagles. They will buy a lot of time. Tapos na-force pa nila siling na mag-overcommit ng Tempest of Blades dun sa ating Alice. That's great. And like I said, Jake the Dog needs to understand his hero ngayon. Parang kailangan niya magkaroon ng special bond dun sa hero niya at gamitin na niya yung pinakamalupit na Alice game niya. Magpakilala na siya ngayon sa mundo because this is absolutely what Eagles need para makabalik dito sa ating laban.
I agree, and as well yung pagka na-build niya, I think yung Winter Truncheon, that's probably gonna be the start na pwedeng mag-take ng mga risky plays dito si Jake the Dog. Like what you've said, yung flowing blood na imbes na pabalik, padiretso. Parang kumbaga it was like pagre-reactin mo papunta doon sa Alice na that's giving space and time for your other members na makapag-farm at makahabol dito on this game. Pero the arrow will actually connect, pero hindi yun papasukin na Debes because that's gonna be Bimo, di Akai, at baka mas, kumbaga medyo may na rin nag-hold ngayon yung STIE Olympians. Huwag natin masyadong pasukin kasi baka mangyari ulit dahil si Bimo rito talagang naka-ready lang siya onto the back lanes dito. Subukan nilang hulihin dito yung Akai, pero now the Lord has already been up. Hindi pa to sinusubukang kunin ng STIE Olympian. In terms of Lord fight, I think the Eagles could be able to contest somehow. Meron sila ditong mga pampasok talaga like yung si Ryota, and even nandito rin si Jake the Dog. What do you think, Wolf? Pagka dating ba sa team fight dito sa makakapalag ba dito ang Eagles?
I think yes. If they play their cards right. Pag medyo pinalapit nila sa base sila para may tulong din ng turret because that's a lot of damage as well. Bimo, it's gonna be up to him. At nakakatakot to para sa Eagles!
Oh! Grabe yung pagkakahuli na naman doon. That's Dian dying from the shadow kill. Ito na nga ba yung return of the comeback rito ng Eagles? Medyo kanina hindi nagiging maganda yung mga shadow kill dito ni Aspect at naiwan si Escanor. I think hindi pa yata enough dito yung damage ng mga players ng Eagles to be able to bring down this Uranus. Pero Wolf, I think if you were on the shoes of STIE Olympians, kailangan medyo mag-hold sila. Kailangan nila ng konting disiplina dito. They already had it. They had a 9,000, close to 10,000 lead against the Eagles. Pero in just one team fight, pwedeng makalahati to or even mag-even out kaagad.
You are absolutely correct. It's gonna be up to how SEA Olympians will use Escanor. Katulad kanina, si Escanor na may nasa laban, tapos hindi yung nag-split push. Normally, Escanor was the one na nag-split push para sa SEA Olympians from back in the day. But this time, Jake Katogi double! What a winter Tarzan though.
Doon na nga, nag-winter truncheon siya doon, Wall, pero hindi siya nabuhay dahil nakuha pa rin siya doon ni Tep, pero the Black Dragon is just being used to zone out the members here from the STIE Olympians. Naiwan na si Ryota sa likod, 2-man down for the Eagles. Oh my, STIE Olympians winning here on that specific team fight at mukhang hindi na nila yata kailangan ng Lord because it's only Arbs, it's only Bimo ang alive, pero sabi nila pwedeng itulak ng Akai yung mga minion waves. Tara, go na lang muna tayo sa Lords. Let's play this safely para kumbaga surely siguraduhin na nila to dahil sobrang libre na para sa kanila ng Lord.
No, I like that decision from STI Olympians. Any other team would have just, went in guns blazing doon sa may bottom lane dahil may malalaking minions doon sa may bottom part. Pero sabi nila, no, it's better if we take the Lord. Hindi naman tayo nagmamadali. Parang ang panalo ng 13 minutes ay pares lang naman sa panalo ng 15 or 16 minutes, di ba?
Oo, regardless. Even regardless 0-1-3 KDA, regardless of the kills, regardless of kung gaano katagal natapos, a win is a win. Yeah, I agree with you, Wolf. And eto na, this is the Luminous Lord going onto the bottom lane at sabay-sabay pa yung minion ngayon towards here on the base of the Eagles. Escanor jumping in onto the backlane. Zone out niya na dito, pero dito sila Yato just focusing on the base turret here on the mid lane. Bumuha pa ang HP dito ng Lord at hindi pa ito nakukuha ng Eagles. Look at it. Bimo just showing the members here for STI pero wala siya doon na pin down dahil napitas na rin siya dito ni Crab. Look at onto the backstage. Shadow kill pero may minions at walang naging damage doon si Aspect. Ryota na naman nag-iwan doon sa may bandang likod. Back up, patay dito si Crab pero mag-isa siya dito mga kaibigan. Sustain, kaya ba? Pero papangating na dito si Jake the Dog with the HP. Sustaining everyone. Escanor napakakunat pa nga naman din. Pero I think Eagles could be potentially na masave itong base nila. Isa na lang ang toring natitira. Arbs is already being taken down. Yato trying and even Dian going in for the final or the last turret here from the Eagles at nakuha na nila. Nalinis na nila and it's gonna be an out. Disengage probably ang STIE Olympians or baka hindi. Dahil tatlo ang nawala dito sa Eagles and it's time for them to finish the game, ladies and gentlemen. Bimo here doesn't have an ultimate. Wala siyang hurricane dance. Tito Wolf, oh my, hindi na nila hihintayin paano mabuhay. Ryota is about to respawn now. Ngayon, kaya pa ba i-hold? Yato, sinusubukan nila to Wolf, kaya ba nila?
Woo! Seems like they can. Oh, Aspect na hold na nila. Pero kita mo, walang damage kahit yung Selena, hindi man lang nasasaktan. Wala dun sa Hayabusa. This is how you know that they are so behind. They need a lot more. Pero mahalaga, they are holding on. Wala na mga big minions. I mean, wala nang Lord buff minions coming out from STIE Olympians. So at least Eagles can breathe a little bit and buhay na rin yung kanilang mga members. And eOlympians should actually respect this. All they have to do is reset, maghintay na kanilang mga ultimates and fight afterwards.
Yes, fight afterwards nga. Pero ito mukhang mayroong ginagawa na naman dito. But Jake the Dog being sniped onto the backlanes. Wow, the damage coming from Cram doon sa Farsa na yun. Hindi na nakapag-sustain doon si Alice. Well, oh my, this is gonna be 2-man down naman for the side of the Eagles. We're back to square one in terms of defending. Pero kompleto ang miyembro ng STIE Olympian, even Aspect na Hayabusa. This might be it, Wolf. Kung hindi na nga kaya dito ng Eagles as STIE Olympians closing the series with a 2-0 win.
My God, STIE Olympians. Somebody doon sa, parang may nagsabi, it's either you or Phil, nagsabi meron silang isang linggo para paghandaan itong laban na ito. And my, oh my, did they prepare for it? Game 1 draft was perfect in their own way kasi early game siya at nagawa nila yung kailangan nilang gawin, lalong-lalo na with a play from them. This time, game number 2, nakuha nila yung Johan even when they have the chance na i-first pick yung Yuzhong or anything else, they went in for the Johan kasi naman handa sila with that kind of play. Last pick, Selena, it made a lot of sense. Kinombo nila yung Johan Selena kasi yung early game na pag-delay ng Canon tas pag-take ng buff para sa Ling, it meant that Ling will have a good time. Tapos nakakuha sila ng kill dun sa bottom. Escanor was perfect with the Uranus. They looked like a team that really was prepared for this, Rob, and you really have to commend them. If you're looking at LPE, wala pala silang, isa lang yung may Halberd sa kanila at wala silang Durance. Kaya naman din, ay meron pala with this Eudora, but it wasn't enough against Escanor na sobrang aga nung power spike.
Hindi na rin talaga enough, even with the Deadly Blade coming from Ryota here and coming from Arms. Parang nahihirapan sila in such a way na parang ang daming sources of damage na parang galing long range. I think the most commendable for me here, aside from them, of course, was actually Kram. Of course, Iato, we already know what is capable of. Pero ang daming time dito with Kram na even one of the time, meron doon part na nag-shadow kill sa kanya during the early game, si Aspect, and nabuhay pa siya. And hindi niya kailangan umuwi. Right after pag-quad shadow pabalik, lilapitan siya doon ni Kram. Actually took, I'm not sure kung siya nakakuha, pero Aspect did die on that specific team fight. And all throughout, I think STIE Olympians did their homework. It was actually Vil yung nag-mention kanina na may 1 week in preparation, and I think it's totally worth it yung isang linggong pag-aaral dito ng STIE Olympians.
Yeah, and you can see na marami sila nakahanda pa. Ang gusto ko sa mga teams na masasabi ko talaga na prepared sila, Rob, is kung sabihin na natin yung game 1 ay hindi nila inulit, parang ibang-iba yung tema nung ginawa nila sa game number 2. It just tells me na maraming nakahandang na strategies etong side ng STIE Olympians. And we're gonna see in the highlights on how they used it. Again, I wanna emphasize yung early stages na dinelay nila yung wave, it allowed them to get this kill kasi si Arms and the rest of the Eagle side out of position na sila. Bottom lane nakuha yung kill dun sa Yuzhong that was so instrumental on how Escanor took control of that lane. Very smart coming out from the STIE Olympian squad.
Yeah, indeed. Not only smart, no, pero kung iisipin mo rin kasi, no, parang hindi makalabas dito, no. It was like I was watching Eagles from the first game going into the second game that they're being too reactive in terms of the laning phase, na hindi sila nakasabay doon sa aggression na pinapakita dito ng STIE Olympian, and was actually surprised on the performance here coming from Jake the Dog. I mean, I've seen him enough with this. The time na nakita ko Jake the Dog was actually having a very good time on Dialis was yung gitna nila sobrang gumagana. This time around, medyo hindi naging ganon yung performance here coming from Yato and even Arms. Pero yeah, that was it. SEIE Olympians, talagang ang ganda na start nila, and this might carry over because they are gonna be going against mamaya against Signal Ultra Warriors, wherein LPE, they still have one more match, and ang susunod nila mga kalaban, that's gonna be Smart, Omega, and of course, kumbaga, this might be a good warm-up for them to be able to use against Smart, Omega, who knows, pero STIE Olympians, props to them, even coming from a loss with our team from Bren. Kumbaga, ang laki sigurado ng naging experience nila against their match against Bren E Pro for giving this kind of momentum here on the series, Wolf.
Yeah, you really have to commend whatever it is yung para sila nag-recover at yung kanilang mga natutunan dun sa laban sa Bren E Pro. I love the fact that STIE Olympians won against the Bren E Pro game 1, tapos natalo sila nung game 2 and 3, but they used yung mga lessons na natutunan nila against a top tier team against the Eagles. Number 1 is you have to adjust. Number 2 is to use your advantage. Diba si Escanor, after getting just 1 kill over the Yuzhong, biglang na karoon na ng level gap na hindi na ma-mend ng Eagles. At alam mo yung ginawa niya, naging aggressive siya. Nagkakat na siya ng waves, minsan pumunta pa siya sa mid at nagiging aggressive siya para sa team. Hindi siya yung basta nakalamang lang nag-farm lang na nag-farm. No, he really asserted his position in the map, and it really helped STIE Olympians secure this match. But the MVP of the game, I would agree with this, Dian with the Selena played so well. Yung kanyang isang death lang is yung kanyang aggressiveness, but I think that warranted naman, Rob, yung kanyang pagiging aggressive in this match because it really helped the side of STI eOlympians secure this game with this aggressive play style off the Selena.
Yeah, agree. I mean, hindi ko masyado hindi natin masyado na mention si Dian during the match, pero it was actually him providing a lot of vision coming dito from the side of STI eOlympians, and that's one of the reason kung bakit din sila nagiging confident in terms of their aggression. It's because Dian was actually leading the way together with Yato, and of course the rest. Kumbaga, ang ganda nung chemistry nila, specifically on the early game, and yun yung tingin ko isa sa matatandaan mo talaga in terms of STI Olympian, that this team is very strong on the early game, and they tend to draft very early game centric type of team. Pero ito again mga kaibigan, this is the group team standing as of the moment. Still, Bren Pro on top of the food chain, 7 points, followed by Smart Omega with another 7 points. At STI Olympians, medyo bouncing up, at ngayon pantay na sila ngayon ng Laus Group PlaybookEsports Eagle with 4 points, and of course may laban pa both of these teams mamaya, and it's gonna be STI Olympians will be going against Signal Ultra Warriors with 2 points as of the moment, and Happy Feet Emperors will not have a fight for this day. Well, for the final series, it's gonna be ang susunod pala nating magiging match is gonna be Laus Group PlaybookEsports Eagles laban naman sa Smart Omega.
That is gonna be interesting kung paano nga magre-recover naman ng LPE Eagles. Sila naman ang dapat mag-recover all of this loss after your 2-0. I don't know how they can do that in a small amount of time. Tapos malakas pa yung kanilang kalaban. That is gonna be scary. Ewan ko, kailangan na siguro mag-meditate ng lahat ng mga members ng Eagles heading into the next match. But we'll find out kung paano sila mag-adjust. And SEO Olympians for sure naman confident for this. So, man, it's gonna be interesting how the teams will use whatever it is na ginawa nila doon sa kanilang first matches.
Yes, and ayun na nga mga kaibigan, would just like to remind everyone, today is going to be a triple header Saturday, and the winners, exclusive kayo mananalo ng the national jersey of your favorite team for the match one. Of course, our winner is STI eOlympians, and we will be showing you the winners. Pearl May Penular, Knight in Brush, and si Irvin Jan Drexter Reyes. Congratulations. And of course, ang ganda ng pagkakahula niya. Ako pa lang yung jersey ng mga teams natin. To be honest, gusto kong kompletuhin silang lahat dahil sobrang ganda. And of course, congratulations, Wolf. Di ba? Yan yung mapapaano ka, Wolf, eh. # sana all ka talaga.
Sana all talaga.
Yes. And, well, Wolf, this is just gonna be our first series dahil may 3 pa tayo na paparating. And of course, ayun na nga mga kaibigan, congratulations once again to STI eOlympians winning, and mamaya makikita pa natin both of the teams going against their respective opponents against Signal Ultra, and as well as sa susunod nga na laban. That's gonna be LPE versus Smart Omega. And of course, Wolf, syempre pagsasama pa rin naman kami dito. We are your casters. Kaya isama ko si Wolf. My name is Rob Luna, and the National will be having a very, very short break, and magkita-kita tayo on the second series.